Hello everyone. I noticed there was some confusion over how to get started with running the code, that kind of thing. So I'm making this video to go over that. So you can find the steps on the getting started page as shown here. So I am going to walk you through the collabs that you will be using and what steps you have to go through to get them to work. So, um, so here you see the getting started page, which you can access on your own. The URL is up here. You should also have the link to the workshop. So yeah, you can access it from the navigation bar. So yeah. So first, make sure that before you run the code, you have added the Colab transit folder to your Google Drive. So make sure you're not just adding a shortcut. So that would be the default. If you just like right click, you see this option. Do not click that. Instead, this folder should be shared directly with you, so you should be able to do this. So what you do is you press Shift C, and then this should show up, and you want to add it to your drive. I can't add it from this account because it's already there. So yeah, that is what you want to do first. It may take a couple of tries to work. If it takes more than a couple of tries, it doesn't work after even after you try for maybe 30 minutes or so, just let us know and we'll try to see what's going on. So yeah. Um and then after that, there are the steps after group assignment. Um, but yeah, I think these are pretty clear, so I'm going to focus on the running the transit analyzer code and the submission form. So what you want to do is make sure you are on the right transit analyzer collab. This is different from the one that is in the application. So yeah, this is specifically for Colab, and you want to run all these cells. So I'm going to go through and run all of these. So here you sign in, and you paste in this code and enter. And then you should see mounted at contents drive. Then you run through these others. I'm not sure why there was an error message for this run, but there shouldn't be when you run this. So while this is running, I'm gonna go check for transit to run. I'm not actually sure what the result for this transit is going to be, but I will be working with 2012 1108. So what you do is you modify the transit date here. I will run this after these finish running. And then here you see it displays the first image file. So then you see this cell right here. So you enter the coordinates of the target and the comparison star, or comparison stars for the inits file if it doesn't already exist. So here's the reference image for the target and comparison star coordinates. Basically what you do is you match these, you match the star field up with this image up here to find these coordinates. So T1 is the target star. These are all comparison stars that you can choose from. As you saw in the application, it's just up to you to tell like what makes a good comparison star. Sometimes you'll select a comparison star and Exotic won't use it, but that's fine as long as the light curve is fine. So if I try to match these stars up here, so you can see that right now. It's so you can see down here there's this little pattern right here that matches up with this pattern right here. So that's what I use to identify. You can use something else, but yeah, that's what's been working for me. So what I can do after that is do this box zoom. So I select this area right here to zoom in, so it's easier for me to find the coordinates. So here's the target. So the coordinates for that, you round them, you don't need the decimals. So this is 274, 169. So I edit that in here. And also if your coordinates are inaccurate, Exotic might correct them for you. So I guess in general, don't worry too much about it, though. Try to select the correct coordinates. And for the comparison star, I guess I can use, so you can put several here. So I guess I'll give Exotic 2 of them. So this is C1 right here. And the coordinates are 262, 149. Let's give it another one. Let's say like this one is comp 6. Okay. 242, 108. So run the cell now. Okay, you can do like shift enter to run as well. So yeah, now the inits file is set up. So you can run the cell and then Exotic will run. So it'll ask if you want to align your images and you want to say yes. So press Y and then enter. And this is going to take a while to run. So 15 to 45 minutes as a general rule. So yeah, it's going to show all these messages here. If you run into an error message at the stage, you should probably post in the Exoplanet Watch workspace. So the main Exoplanet Watch Slack rather than the Exoplanet Research Workshop Slack, because the developers of Exotic are in the Exoplanet Watch Slack. So any errors you run into at this stage, they can probably help you with that. We can try to help as well, but it's probably more to do with the Exotic software than the stuff that we have. So yeah. And do keep a log of any error messages that you get. after this runs, you can open the output images at this stage. So it should show a couple of figures. So okay, it keeps pulling back up here because it's still running. But yeah, it should show the output images below. So it'll have the field of view with the target star circled and the comparison star if it used one. So Exotic should select the best comparison star out of the ones you put, or just won't use the comparison star sometimes, as I mentioned. And you should see the light curve and this other output image, not this other output image that I'm not quite sure how to interpret myself, but the main thing is the light curve. Field of view, yes, yeah. I guess just look at it as well. Yeah. Um, so I'm going to pause this recording while this runs, and I'll be back later to look at the outputs. Okay, just thought I'd add another note because I thought I just printed out some messages, said the comparison stars that I put in can't be resolved. So okay. Also, it seems there was an error with this one. Okay, I have not actually tried this one before. So this one is one that doesn't work. This is something that you'll run into. So I will save this output. Okay, so yeah, let's save all. Yeah, that's the main partners. Okay, that's no problem. So I will save that somewhere and I will put this wrong. Like just like if you want to report like some error you ran into and on Exotic, go to data reduction in the Exoplanet Watch Slack, link your images and your Colab, and paste what was an error or a screenshot of it, either one. But, yeah. So I guess for one that does work, I am going to switch this to 2011-05-24. I'm just going to be following the same steps, so I'm going to pause the recording again as I go through that and what it's on. So the reduction process has finished now. So you can see here that it's finished running. You see the reduction process, and again, it says these comparison stars may not have been included. So we will see when we open the output images. Run the cell. Yeah, and as you see here, it didn't use either comparison stars I gave it. See this light curve here? It's pretty good. You see it there. It's not that great. Like you can find better light curves, but this one works. Then you see this plot right here, which you most likely won't be using. But yeah. So after this, your next step is to go to the transit submission form. So you'll want to make a copy of this, or you can just run this in playground mode, I believe. But yeah, again, you want to mount drive. Go to that URL. Sign in, paste in this code again. Import modules. Should have all the modules you need to run this, and then you want to authorize access to Google Sheets after that. So let's just add that to the queue so when this finishes. Okay, so you need to enter another verification code here. There. Okay, so if you see here, this transit is the one that I was just running. This is the one that this is a pretty reliable one to use as an example. Yeah, so you see basically the same thing as what you saw in the exotic notebook, except now it's here. And then here you want to replace these inputs with your own name, your folders, your transits. Okay, this I am going to update the folder to transits. Okay, this is not a parameter. It should be the same for everyone. So you want to update this with your own spreadsheet link. So as you see in the instructions here, you want to copy this template to your team folder. So then it'll add the data accordingly. And you want to take the link of your spreadsheet and then put it here. So right now, what this links to is my sample spreadsheet. If you just ran this, I don't think it would work. Actually, it might. I'm not sure, but I believe you shouldn't have edit access to the sample one that I'm using. So then you put the transit outcome here and notes. Yeah, you can enter something like anything that should help. Yeah, just enter that and run this, and then this should show up in the master spreadsheet and well, it'll show up in my spreadsheet. So for you, it would show up in your spreadsheet too. So once this finishes running, it should be there. Navigate to that is the master spreadsheet. I believe you guys should have access to the, or you guys should have the link to this. You definitely have access since I see you've been adding stuff here. But yeah, I am going to delete the row I get once it goes off because that one is already here. Okay, there, finished running. So yeah, you see it says I just made it edit. Yeah, and you see all this data right here. So yeah, that is it. Once you complete those steps, you have successfully run a transit and submitted it. So yeah, let me know if you run into any errors. And yeah, hope this was helpful. If anything about running exotic, submitting transits was confusing. So yeah, as always, shoot me a message through email or Slack if you have any additional questions.